that wasn't actually live. I've spent I've spent the last 10 minutes talking to my phone, and now I can see from the chat that there's nobody actually watching the stream. So I'm still spending time talking to my phone. So I want to start by saying thanks a lot to the 124 people who have subscribed so far. Um, Given that I've got over 600 friends on Facebook, it's really, um, well, maybe 600 friends or not, and it's a questionable number, but I really do appreciate those of you that have subscribed. And the reason I'm streaming now is just to try and set the scene for the walk that I'm going to do, and just explain a bit about when I'm doing it and why I'm doing it, etc. Answer a couple of questions that have come in from people who did subscribe. So the idea is to walk from Ho Chi Minh City to Vung Tau, and we're setting off at 7:45 a.m. on the 11th of March, which is a Tuesday. And the reason it's 7:45 a.m. is when I drop my kids off for the school bus. And then I will meet with the family again. We're planning to be at a place called the Imperial Hotel in Vung Tau for the weekend, where I fully intend to drink quite a lot of beer and get rid of any benefits that the walk may have given me. So there is a couple of questions that I wanted to answer, and I've sort of categorized them, and I'll try and name people who asked the questions, or whose questions sort of sticks in my mind. And the first question is the I would say it's a sort of financial interrogation. And I'll give credit to Brian Campbell for that one. Who's currently in Bahrain, heading off to Manila. Brian asked me, could you not afford the train ticket? And the answer, Brian, is I really don't know. Julia controls all the money. When I told her I wanted to go to Vung Tau for a few days, she said she wasn't giving me any money. She said, you can effing walk, yeah. And community guidelines don't let me say the final word. So when she said I could effing walk, I said, okay, I'm going to effing walk. So that's what I'm doing. Whether we can afford the ticket or not on the train, you would really need to get in touch with Julia. But I can tell you, she gave me that face, the like I'm going to do you face, and I don't know what happened to her. When I married her, she was a genteel middle class English rose, but something's changed along the way. So the answer to the question, Brian, is I don't know. Maybe we can. Maybe we can afford the ticket. Maybe we can't. But because Julia said walk, I'm walking. Okay. This somebody's on called Cyber. How'd you come up with a name? Oh, Cyber Doggy. How'd you come up with a name like Cyber Doggy? I don't want to think about that. The second question was, I would say it's a more what do you call it, the opportunity people. What could we do from this? What can we achieve from this? And I'll give credit to my good friend Nick Poole over there in Singapore. I hope you're doing well, Nick. So the question really revolved around charity, and why am I doing it for charity, and why am I not doing it for charity? And there's a couple of reasons why I'm not. I've decided against doing it for charity. And the first one is really quite selfish, right? But I'm not working, right, which has given me the opportunity to do this. But since about the age of 30, with a couple of breaks, but mostly since the age of 30, I've been running profit and loss for businesses. And anybody that's done that knows how exhausting it is, because you're always worried about hitting targets, and you're always worried about clients paying and getting new business and all that kind of crap. And I just thought, if I do this for charity, I'm going to get into that same mindset, that I feel I'm going to have to raise money, and if I'm not getting towards the target, then it's going to bother me, and it's going to upset me. So I just think that for the benefit of it, for me, would be taken away by setting that target, and trying to raise funds. Right, it's just not something that I think is going to be that beneficial. And the second reason I've decided not to do it for charity is because I really don't want people to feel obligated to spend money and to give money, and especially to a charity that I would nominate and they know nothing about. So I just don't really want to make that request of people. But I would request that anybody who would have donated to a charity thinks about how they could do something. Right? And I'm not always that keen on giving money. I think a bit of a theme of this will be mental health, and I'll explain that in a minute. But I think it's much more valuable giving money is giving time, and there's people who really need your time, and if anybody wants to do anything, then spend some time with people who need your company, right? That's what I would see a lot more benefit. As you see, I burnt my hand, my arm. I was cooking your dinner, by the way. Um, you know who I'm talking to. Um, so so charity is out for me, but and to make money on YouTube. Hi, Mr. Mad. I don't know who Mr. Mad is, but I hope you're not mad at me. Um, to make money from YouTube, I think you need 1,000 subscribers. And given that I'm 124, I don't think that's going to be a worry. But in the unlikely event that YouTube does pay any money, then that money will be donated to the Hong Kong Business Association Charity Committee, which I used to be on. And I'll be fully transparent on that. And if it's just a small amount of money, I'll kick in a bit myself. But I don't think we're going to have that worry. And the third category of question so far is more the philosophical school, I would say. And this was summed up by a question from a good friend from Kuala Lumpur, called Murali, who's one of the funniest guys I know. He's currently in London, and he sent a message that simply said, "Why Neil?" And I think that was a very, very fair question, right? Why Neil? Why am I doing this, right? And I know this isn't a massive challenge. I know a few people. You've done Everest base camp. You've trekked up Mount Kinabalu to see glorious sunrises, or you've been up hanging out with the Incas in Machu Picchu, and this challenge is nowhere near anything like that, right? Claire Whitby, thanks. I don't know what you mean by Claire, but thanks for arming me anyway. And Logan Garrett, what's going? What's going? Don't know what's going. My live stream, I guess, Logan. But thanks for logging in. So where was it? Was it why? Oh yeah, the philosophical school. So Morale, yes, why? And there's no why. I made redundant a few months ago. I was really worried about how I was going to deal with that. I think that this will be mental health and mental health awareness. I'm not saying that I can speak with any authority on the subject, but I can speak as somebody who, as a teenager, who has it. I'm good, Logan. I hope you are too, right? As a teenager who, since being a teenager who's had issues with mental health and especially depression. And for me, the one thing that's always helped me is walking. I don't really have any hobbies, right? I I have taken up some hobbies since I've stopped working, and one of them is I don't play Fortnite, Logan. Sorry. One of them is pickleball, and I'm absolute crap at it. Right, I'm really bad. We play doubles, and whoever gets me is always in the losing team. I and that's thanks to a couple of friends who invited me along. There's David and John Mark, and all the guys I play with are quite French themed. They've all got some French connection, which of course my dad might not have wanted for me. But there you go. Yeah, I get beat by the French on it, usually twice a week. I do like football, Chelsea, yes. Um, and I've also taken up another hobby is cooking, which I find I'm actually not bad at, and I really enjoy, and I spend quite a lot of time with it. And I've actually just finished cooking up various curries and tandoori's for some of my ex-colleagues that will be getting delivered to them tomorrow, and they better say thanks. Um, so the actually killing the time has been less difficult than I thought. But the thing for me has always been walking. I'm not naturally good at any sport or anything. It's always been walking, and even from a kid, like so, the earliest memories with my dad, and a lot of my memories was walking with my dad and going to football games, chatting. Times that I look back on now, and I really I really treasure those memories. So the walk for me is just about doing something that I enjoy, achieving something, setting a goal, making the goal. And I guess there's another side to this yeah, I'm Scottish. I'm from Glasgow, and unusually from Glasgow. My favourite football team is Hearts, who are from Edinburgh. But I live in Vietnam, and I've not lived in Scotland for many years. Um, where was I? Oh yeah, so because of depression, I've been on and off medication for many years, since I was about 18, I think. Not continually, and I always had a form of depression. It was then they called it reactive depression. They had to make it more glamorous and change it to situational depression. But basically, it was overreacting to situations that like, I don't know, breaking up with you're a Chelsea fan, a Celtic fan, very unlucky last night, Chelsea. You deserve to go through bad luck. But overreacting to situations, just not being able to cope with them properly, not being able to put them in perspective. But I managed actually, it was about 9 years ago, to diversify and find a new way to destroy my mind. And that was through, I was diagnosed with something called general anxiety disorder. And I'll talk, if anybody's interested, I'll talk a bit more about this during the walk. People think it's boring, just tell me to shut up, and I'll shut up. Um, and that was quite a weird one, because as so that's a sad story, Mark. Um, Best wishes. That took me out my stride. Sorry, mate. That's really sad. Um, where was I? I've totally lost my thread, man. My thought. Oh yeah. So the last. It was called general anxiety disorder. Um, and I've been on a medication for 9 years, which is the longest continual stretch that I've been on medication. And I decided, about 3 weeks ago, I went to doctor and said, I want to stop this. I've got situations changed. I think I've got a chance now of living normally without the medication. but the medication is quite brutal, right? And it's quite addictive, and the withdrawal symptoms are pretty they're pretty brutal. And one of them is a bit more irritable than I normally am, which may be a surprise to some of you. But I just want, I know walking helps. I know I don't want to just automatically go back to the medication. I want to try different things. And one of those things is setting myself this challenge of walking to Vung So I would like to get to more subscribers. So if any of you think it's worth sharing with your friends, I would appreciate that. Right? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this for fame or anything like that, because I don't want to be famous, right? But it would be nice to have some company on the walk at times. And the intention is, just to what do you call it, go in and out. At times I will, if there's something interesting to see, or there's something beautiful to see, or there's something on my mind that I want to chat about, then I'm just going to turn on the stream and have a chat. But I'll go back to the 124 subscribers. Thank you. I really appreciate it. One of my neighbours, I live in a place, I live in Ho Chi Minh City, for those that don't know me, and I live in an area called District 2, and in a development called An Phu Luxury Compound. And one of my neighbours is a really big YouTube blogger. He does something, I think it's called The Greatest Food Show Ever. And he's got millions of subscribers, right? And he's American too, right? His show's brilliant, by the way. If you're interested in food and food culture, which I really am, his show's brilliant. But he's going to walk by me and look, say he's got 124 subscribers, right? So I don't think I'll be stopping to chat to him anytime soon. So that's the end of today's stream, I think. Thanks for I don't know how many tuned in, but thanks for those that did. I think it's the greatest. I'll find a link and put it in the chat. Mark. I don't like darts, Chelsea. No, I'm not a big fan of darts. I do like the beers that go along with it, but I'm not a big fan of throwing arrows at a board. No. So that's about it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that anybody, if anybody's got any other questions or anybody's interested in finding out more, then please let me know. And so until next time, bye guys. Take care.